1000 years after Moses and 400 years before Jesus. The people of God, Israel, was in captivity of Babylon. So, as you know that the kings were there, and many kings in Judah, in Israel, and two parts, and everyone did evil in sight of the Lord, and they were in captivity. God put them in captivity. So, in that captivity, we are going to see today about Nehemiah. About few verses, I want to share very small message with you. Let's read Nehemiah chapter 1 verse 1 to 4. Nehemiah chapter 1 verse 1 to 4. The words of Nehemiah the son of Hakaliah. It came to pass in the month of Kislev, in the 20th year, as I was in Shushan, the citadel, that Hanani of my brethren came with men from Judah, and I asked them concerning Jews who had escaped and who had survived in the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. And they said to me, the survivors who are left from the captivity in the province are there in great distress and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down, and its gates are burned with fire. So it was when I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned for many days. I was fasting and praying before God of heaven. So we have read these verses, and Nehemiah was 800 miles away from his Jerusalem and his city, and his heart was not with Babylon, but his heart was with Jerusalem. So that he is asking some people, those who came from there in Jerusalem, and he's asking them, how is my city, how is my people? And they are saying that they are in great distress, and the walls are broken down, and gates and everything is collapsed. So when he heard these words and he wept, there was no power, strength in his legs, and he sat down and he started to pray there, and he said, many days he continued to weep. So you can see his heart, because he was living far away from his country, but still his heart was there. As you know that they were in captivity, many of the Jews in Babylon, they started to live there, and they started to make their houses. But some of the people like Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Esther and Nehemiah, these people were not, their hearts were not set there in that captivity, but their hearts were in their city, Jerusalem in Israel. They wanted to go back there and wanted to worship their God, Lord. So as the city was broken down, and he started to pray after. He did a long prayer, and then what happened in chapter 2, you have read that, you know that the king allowed him to go and build the walls and the gates of Jerusalem, and because of he prayed, and he had a good heart, and he has a vision. He had a vision about his Jerusalem and his city, and he made a vision that what I'm going to do. So the book of Nehemiah is all about leadership, and he became a leader. He not at all, he did this all the work alone, but he took many people with him, and he went there, and he was a leader, and he led the people. My main point is, when he heard this news, that bad news, discouraging news, that what happened to their city, and he wept, and there was he cried many days. So if you See around you, around your neighborhood, and in your country, and in the world. What do you see? Everywhere sickness and problems, and everywhere things are there, and things are getting bad. When you hear about these things, what do you do? What do you feel? Nehemiah was very, very sad when he heard that news. What then if we hear this news and what we are hearing from this world, then what we are doing? Are we praying for others? Are we sharing the good news? Are we building the walls and gates that are broken? Or we simply listen and say, this is okay. Nehemiah did not say it is okay, whatever. No, but he said, I will go and build. And he made a vision. What vision you have for your people, for the children? All the people are dying around you. What visions you have? Nehemiah had a vision, and he became a leader, and he marched towards that vision. Another side of message I want to share. If you see your life and other people's life are broken, gates and walls are broken. You know, wall or which city had not wall in old times? It was like an invitation to the enemies. Enemy anytime can come and attack. There is no protection. If wall is there, people are protected. And what we are doing for this? And are we building the protection around the people? Are we building protection around us, around our lives? Protection of Jesus. When Jesus went to Jerusalem in temple and he saw people were selling the things there, and he said, my house will be called the prayer house. Why you make it like a robber? So then he cleaned that temple because of he had a jealous. Nehemiah had a jealous about his city. Jesus had a jealous. And what we have, and we must pray when we hear this. We must pray for others. We must be like Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Esther, Nehemiah, living in captivity in problems. Still, they believe that we can accomplish the things that the Lord put in our hearts. If you make a vision, what you are going to do, and pray over that, Lord, I want to do this. I want to win this many people, and I want to preach there and there. I want to go there and preach the gospel. I want to serve this community and that community. And Lord, please help me. See around you and your life and other people's life. Building shows a ecclesia, church. Are we building it? Gates are scattered and walls are fell down. So we must build it. Let's get together and pray for the world and other people. I encourage you, and maybe you are doing that. I appreciate and I thank you for that. But we need to pray together for the people that everyone may come to Christ and live a peaceful life in fortified city where there is no fear of attack. So God may bless you through this message.